Hey everyone, so it is Amazon Prime Day today and tomorrow, and the Amazon Fire Max 11 are on sale. As we can see here, starting at $140 right now, which is pretty crazy deal. Normally they're a bit over $200 here in the US. So is this device worth buying for only $140? And I think it depends on what you're going to be doing with your device. These are still budget-friendly tablets. This is by far the best Amazon Fire tablet you can buy, but it is still not going to be as good as, say, like a base model iPad, iPad 9. But it is still a good device, and does have an excellent display on it. It has good speakers on it. It is decently quick. It's just not going to be the quickest thing. And if you're doing something like reading books, watching YouTube, Netflix, stuff like that, this is an excellent buy. But first here, I want to show off a little bit of its browsing speed. So we'll go to bestbuy.com, a little bit of a heavier website. So it takes a little bit longer for it to load in than, say, other websites, like regular websites. So you can see a lot of stuff still loading in, but again, it's not terrible by any means, especially now for only $140. It's pretty crazy. Go ahead and we'll hit the Xbox here. And like I said, it does load in decently quick. This is again going to be like the fastest Amazon Fire device you can buy. But you can see that it does take a little bit to load in all the stuff that's on Best Buy's website here. And then if we go to something like Pokemon.com, that will load in a lot faster. It's like that, it doesn't have any issues loading this in. Go there. See, this just loads in way faster. So most websites are going to load in pretty quick. Alright, then we're going to show off some Roblox. I know Amazon is big with their Roblox, saying that their devices can play Roblox, that they're good for Roblox here. So we have this in just, where'd it go? Automatic graphics. So let the device choose what it thinks is best. We're just going to do some Arsenal because it shows off the FPS here. And I hope you guys can see there. FPS is not too good. About 16, 17. So keep it on the FPS so you guys can see that counter. There, now it's up in the 40s, down to 30s. And when you're loading in, it drops way down. Once you start moving though, it does go up into the 40s, which isn't terrible. You can definitely play this. I say anything above 30 is playable for the most part. But you will have some laggage every now and then. And of course, depending on what map you are on, what game you're playing, all that good stuff will also help determine, right there has some good laggage, will determine your FPS as well. Some Roblox games will have no issues playing, and other ones you'll have more issues with, like this, where it lags out sometimes. So I mean, it's playable, it's just not the most enjoyable. What I think is the best use for these devices, besides from watching like YouTube, is going to be reading books. This looks better in person than what you're going to see on YouTube, of course, here. But it is, of course, very good for reading books, using Kindle, or whatever you might want to use. Of course, I'm using Kindle, but it just looks really good. Of course, it's nice and snappy, of course, because Kindle is a very easy thing for these devices to load in. This is a nice 11-inch device, so you can get a lot of stuff on screen at one time. Turn it that way as well. Again, it will look better in real life. Once I go too far into my sample of this book, it does look really good. Again, you get kind of 2 pages on one, or 1 page on one screen here. And of course, just like any other device, you can change up a whole bunch of different things on here, including having the night mode type stuff, the black background, white lettering. You can change up a whole bunch of crazy stuff. So like for background, you can do like your white, you can do this like tannish color, you can do like green, or you can just do the black, which is kind of like night mode. And there are a whole bunch of different things you can do to this if you want. But I think this is one of the best uses for these devices. just like if you read comics or whatever, things with pictures in them. So you can zoom in, you can move it all around, and there's really no lag on this. There's no lag on this whatsoever, unlike a Kindle e-reader, which is very kind of laggy as it loads in everything. This is just nice and snappy. You can just zoom through the stuff if you want to. And you can zoom in on each panel as well, which is pretty cool. And then if you want to watch stuff like YouTube, again, this is a nice 11-inch display. I believe they call it a 2K display. It's a very nice display though. And then unlike the iPads, you can actually do a good full screen experience here. It doesn't actually cut out too much of what you're watching, where on the iPads it cuts out a whole bunch of it because of their display ratio. This, you're cutting out, I mean, even without zooming in, you only have this tiny little bit of black bars all around, aside from the bezels. So it doesn't really cut out much when you do zoom in, and it looks very good. And then of course it's also very good for something like Duolingo with the Angry Owl. So I mean, you're not going to have laggage on this. So I just do a couple of these here. So bread is pan. Like, this is not going to have any issues doing this stuff. I am apples is what that says. So it's apples. You're not going to have any issues with doing something like learning apps, stuff like Duolingo here, which I really need to get back into myself. Let's see, I am a man. So I mean, you really have no issues, of course, with apps like this. So I mean, overall, for 140 bucks, this is a very good device. I mean, again, it is only $140. If you want to get like an iPad 9, those are on sale for like $250 a lot of times. That is definitely a better device, but you're also spending over $100 more on it. If you are just going to be watching YouTube, doing some light gaming stuff, not like Roblox is terrible with Android in general, but other games like, Pokemon Unite, stuff, PUBG even, they do work decently well on this device. Again, Roblox is just not optimized for Android, no matter which Android device you're using. But this is still, again, good for light gaming. Anything heavier, you're not really going to be able to do too well. It's excellent for reading books, for e-reading, again, watching YouTube, surfing the web, pretty good for that as well. For 140 bucks, I do think this is worth it, but I would recommend downloading the Google Play Store. Otherwise, you're stuck with the App Store, the Amazon App Store, which is not very good. But you can download the Google Play Store easily basically off of Google. But anyway, yes, I do think this is worth buying for 140 bucks, as long as you know what you are getting, and you do not think that this is an iPad. Yeah, you all let me know what you think, though. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have a good one. See you guys next time.